Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog.
As you guys may know, we kicked off Earth Month early by taking our Mach-E to Red Rocks for a sunrise workout. Showing off electric vehicle technology is the only EV at a car meetup, and heading to an EV meetup. Unfortunately, as some of you may know, our beautiful Lucifer got injured on the way there, aka we were hitting the hit and run, and it's been in the shop for almost a month since then, pretty much all of Earth Month.
We wanted to vlog about all of our adventures in electric Lucifer for Earth Month, but instead, I guess we just sort of took this as an opportunity to reflect on our transition to EV life. Although we've only lived the EV life for 1 month, March, we really got used to it very quickly. We love having a car that is quiet and no smell. That was a surprise. I didn't think the lack of smell would be such a perk, but it actually is.
And it might have been because we had my really old car to compare it to, but the moment I turned the key in the ignition of that car, it was like, ooh, I have not missed this. Yeah.
And of course, it was just nice being able to have a gas station in our garage, basically being able to plug in every night and not having to worry about stopping for gas when we're out and about.
We may not have had an EV for most of Earth Month, but that didn't stop us.
Yeah, we took advantage of the situation and rented a Tesla Model Y for about a half a week so that we could go up Lookout Mountain again and take it on some of the routes that we're familiar with. And we have a video with all of that coming out very soon so you can see how we like the Model Y.
And we figured it would be a good opportunity to give it more of a test run than the short little test drive we did previously. We thought that we were going to get to drive an ID.4. We went to the showroom and we got to play around with it in the showroom for an hour, which was amazing, but it was pretty well stuck in the showroom, so they couldn't really take it out. But that was really exciting.
Yeah, we could have asked for them to take it out, but we have a test drive of an ID.4 coming up in May, so we'll get a chance to drive it eventually.
I'm super excited.
We also got to visit a local Kia dealer as part of their Earth Day celebration in conjunction with Drive Electric Colorado. And if you haven't checked it out, you should take a look, Google it, and see if you can find local EV clubs in your area. There's several in Colorado, and just looking at the websites, like I found tons throughout the US. And a lot of times they host virtual as well as in-person events to help you transition to the EV life as well as answer your questions about having an EV.
And don't be put off if they're one vehicle specific. For example, Patrick even got in touch with some people in Grand Junction.
Grand Junction, yes.
Who are part of the Tesla club there, and they're really welcoming. So as soon as we have an EV back, we're going to go join them. So feel free to reach out to anyone that you can. It seems like a really cool community, at least around us.
Yeah, they actually invited us this past weekend for Earth Day to go on a EV picnic with them. And I just watched the footage of that. I'll link to it as well. It looked like it was a lot of fun. They invited us to come along in our Mach-E, but of course it's in the shop, so we couldn't do that.
It would have been weird going in a gas car.
Yeah.
Could have gone in my car. Visiting the Kia dealership, it was actually Peak Kia in Littleton. It was super fun. It was really nice to meet everyone. And we actually got to test drive the Kia Niro, the new one, 2021, which we weren't expecting. They were really cool and generous and just
very casual with that.
Yeah. So that was really fun.
We didn't go far, but it was nice to get a little peek into the Kia Niro.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, we're going to go into that now. Yay, happy Earth Week, Earth Month, whatever.
Earth something.
We are here at Peak Kia in Littleton, Colorado, and they are doing a little event with Drive Electric Colorado. So we're going to get to see the new Kia Niro.
Kia Niro EV. It's not new, but they have new ones.
They have new ones. So we're going to go look at it, which is really exciting. And it's just cool to be able to be a part of any EV stuff and Earth Week month stuff that's going on. So let's go.
Cool.
So we did not think that we were going to get to test drive this Kia Niro, but they were just like, here are the keys, hop on in. This is so fun. We're about 3 seconds into the drive. But
Yeah.
it's just, it's cooler inside than I thought it was going to be. You?
Yeah, I mean, it feels very normal, and I think it
car.
will feel very comfortable to somebody that is not looking for all the bells and whistles of an EV, although it has like the touch screen and a lot of driver assistance features. I believe it has lane centering and adaptive cruise control, but it feels very normal. I would say, I don't know, like if you are, normal hatchback, like, I'm not sure, like a Mazda 3 or something like that.
Like it has the display in front of the driver, but it emulates a traditional display with the, what would you call them? The dials?
Yeah.
Like it has some modern features with traditional touches, which makes it feel quite familiar. That's actually quite nice. But at the same time, the inlaid screen makes it really unobtrusive and look really sleek. So it is a lot smaller than the Mach-E screen, but it doesn't sort of have to be too big, I guess.
I can feel the regen. It's not super aggressive, but that can be adjusted.
Well, you're just punching it right there, huh?
Yeah. Now, when I did that from a start, the front wheels were spinning, but
What's that?
I'm close to the line because I was trying to avoid.
Driver assistance? No.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it's harder for me to see what's going on your dash, but you can see just fine, right?
Yeah. Everything is very clear. It feels very much like a normal car, so I think this could be like a great entry level EV. Now, I think this one is 46,000 as it's configured. Now, for something like that, I would probably be tempted to just get an equivalent Mach-E, to be quite honest. But if the Mach-E is too flashy or too big for you, this is not a bad alternative.
And this does have a couple little features that the Mach-E doesn't. Like we have a cover here.
It's a smaller roof.
It's a smaller sunroof.
Yeah.
And there's a cover, so if the glass screen bothered you, although of course you could get the hard top depending on your configuration. It does have close to half the torque and power, right?
Like 2/3 torque, 2/3 power, I believe.
Okay. Of the Mach-E, of course.
Of the Mach-E. 0 to 60 is about 6.5, which is sort of like the standard range rear-wheel drive Mach-E, I think is about 6.1. So it would be somewhat comparable to that. This is front-wheel drive, so that's a difference. The other thing is like this platform is not EV specific. They have a gas one and a hybrid one that are in the same configuration. So it's not an EV dedicated platform, which is explains why there's no frunk on it, or partially explains that. But this feels, out of all the EVs that we've tested, not that we've done a lot, this feels the most like it's just a car. It doesn't have like a ton of flashy performance, a ton of flashy or giant screen or anything like that. It just feels like a car. I think, if you just sort of gave this to, gave the keys to somebody and told them to go drive it, they might show up at a gas station when it came time to when they're getting close to empty. They may not even realize they were in an electric car necessarily.
Aside from the silence, as is traditional with electric cars, this is quiet. And it's actually very pleasantly so. Like, I'm finding this really unobtrusive. There's not much road noise. There's not much wind noise. Granted, we're not on the highway, but
I do hear some road noise. Of course, now we're on a very smooth road, so there probably won't be much road noise on this. But
do you hear that propulsion noise?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's artificial or if it's just the actual motor, because the motor is up here. So I think we're actually hearing the actual motor.
We're trying to figure out where the sounds come from. At one point, Patrick slowed down at a crosswalk and it came out.
There you can hear it's the actual motor. It's sort of interesting. Pretty good punch. A lot slower than the Mach-E, but you would expect that. But I think most people would think, wow, that's pretty good performance. compared to the gas-powered version of this or the hybrid version, I would imagine. And I think like somebody like your mom, she would probably sit in this and just be like, it wouldn't be overwhelming. You have like a lot of normal-looking controls for your climate control, radio. It's not like anything that would probably throw anybody off. So
very familiar.
Yeah, very, very familiar.
Once again, those sort of silver crusted dials, silver encrusted. These actually do look really nice though. And I think, is it the ID.4 that they remind me of? Because they have that texturized side. I quite like it. And obviously the same as the Mach-E. And once again, a power button, which I really don't mind.
Yeah. I didn't even see it. It was already on when I got in.
But
yeah, I don't mind the power button. I like the familiarity of it. And just the comfort of knowing that the car's not powered and ready to move. It's actually off until I hit power.
So I was not particularly excited about this car because of the price, to be honest. So it's lacking a couple of features that's present in the Mach-E, like the full glass roof, the kick rear hatch release, and way less power. And yet it's still pretty up there in price, which is something that I just I find challenging with EVs. Like, we need to get the prices down on these cars so that we can get everyone in the market, not just people who are fortunate enough to be able to afford it. So I was a little like disgruntled at the car because I thought it was going to be more of an entry-level pricing, and it feels more of a beginner Mach-E pricing or on par with the VW. Yeah.
It's 46 on this one. I think you can get it for under 40, but with the tax credits, like here in Colorado, you can knock 10,000 off of that. But the problem with that is that you get that as a tax credit at the end of the year. And I think some of the stuff that they're looking at doing with some revised EV tax credits is that you would get it like when you sign for the car, which could help out.
Absolutely,
for a lot
because
of people.
if people can't afford the lump sum right there or the credit even, they need that assist right then.
Because like, for example, if it's a $40,000 car, and you want to put $5,000 down, you're financing $35,000, and you're not, getting any of the price knocked off. But if they gave you like a $10,000 knocked off, now you're financing $25,000. Makes your payments a lot better and makes it easier to get approved for that for people. So hopefully they will do something like that. I know that you got to like make sure people are not just buying the car and turning it around and selling it or something. But whatever, there's got to be a way to make these more affordable.
Absolutely. And of course, like, something that I'm really interested in is the secondhand EV market, which is something that we'll probably start investigating more as time passes. But I'm kind of annoyed because this car is nice. It is actually nice. The interior is very nice. It's well designed. The finishes are good. The features are good, but it's not as high tech or flashy as the Mach-E, which kind of makes me resentful because it's so pricey. You know what I mean? And it's not saying that this is so much pricier, but
it's a combination of like, there's some nice touches, but then there's like the whole dash looks like it's very regular car looking.
Yeah,
which means it's not as nice of materials. I mean, the steering wheel feels nice.
If this was like starting at 30,000, I guess it starts at 36. Was that right?
I think 36 or 38.
If it started at 30, or if we could possibly get these cars to start under 30 even, I feel like I would be excited about this. I would be excited about the fact that it looks a bit more traditional and that it would be a good way to get people into EVs without having to worry about like, oh, I don't want that big devoid cabin that has just one screen sort of thing. This is a very nice traditional car cabin, but not in the same way as the Polestar. This is more of a fun car. And the Polestar was a bit cleaner.
I like that it does include like the lane keep assist and intelligent cruise control. It's really nice seeing those type of features becoming standard. Just my own thing is like, I want all of that stuff to become standard because it's been proven that it makes the car and the drive more safe And it seems odd that you're like, yeah, if you want to be safe, you got to pay extra. So I want all of these driver assistance features to be included for free as much as possible.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's only one, like the Mach-E.
But
you can't see the phone. Very, very easy to forget your phone in there. But
that would be very easy. And it's a little different because like the Mach-E, you don't need to see your phone because all the features are on the screen. So basically this is a wireless charger, or just pop it in and charge. And Patrick's phone is in there. How easy is that to get out?
And CarPlay.
And there is a lip here so you can get the phone out nicely.
Very secure in there.
That's really nice and texturized, sort of grabby finish. I really like that. But this is the kind of car that you might want to see your phone because the display doesn't really have much. But you have Android, so Android Auto.
See, the road noise here feels way more.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Get a bit more of that run. And that's just the tires.
So I wonder if we could see texts on here somewhere.
If you connect with Bluetooth, if you connect with Android Auto, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think it has wireless Android Auto. You can adjust the regen. I really like this part. You can adjust regen by doing the paddles. And it sounded confusing, but it's actually very intuitive because you can see right now it's level 3, level 2, because I clicked on the right paddle, level 1.
Where is that changing? I can't see.
Way down there underneath the battery. And then if I want more regen, which I want to try it up with the max regen and see how that is. There's a lot of buttons in here, which is actually sort of cool. I know people are like, oh, I get rid of all the buttons, but there's an auto hold button. There's like the seat warmer, seat ventilation. Everything, there's like quick, easy access buttons that you're used to.
I like it.
Yeah.
Although this is looking super old school now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also like, if I told your mom to turn on the AC, she would look down and go, let me hit the AC button.
Yeah. Well, and if you'd given me this car before we had the Mach-E, I would have been like, whoa. Is that another test drive right there?
No, but I am going to try the regen and let go and see. Yeah, that feels...
I feel that.
A bit more like the Mach-E regen on normal. And this is on level 3.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It was pretty mild on level 2.
Oh, and at no point is the regen enough to stop the vehicle. You still have to use the brake, so there's no one pedal driving.
Yeah, it isn't true one pedal. Although I'm like, now it's a little bit closer to that.
Is it feeling a little whisper mode-y?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So as we were parking, that's one thing that I certainly missed from the Mach-E is that automatically then the front cameras come on, or you can hit them on.
It does have like parking radars, so it'll let you know when you're close to hitting things.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and that's just being spoiled now by being used to a feature that I really like.
Yeah.
What's that parking brake?
It did. Yeah, I could have put on the now the parking brake's on. I'm still learning. Very new. I only did like 15 minutes of it, but it's easy to figure things out. Mm-hmm. Just playing with the touch screen and seeing how this is seems pretty cool. Let's see. Manhattan, New York. Don't want to do that. How about Denver or Denny's? It's finding the nearest Denny's and has routed us to a Denver nearby, Denver Denny's. So not too bad.
It's actually quite cute, and it seems to segment the screen well. Like having what you were listening to on the side of the map, even when it was navigating.
It's, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm confused. I can't figure anything out. I'm just not familiar with it. Bigger. That's cool. I mean, it's still relatively small, but not bad.
So it's in thirds, basically, huh?
Oh, yeah. And then you can expand it full width.
That's much nicer.
Yeah.
I would almost want the radio to be a pop-up over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of taking a whole third, or in this case, 2/3 now. Radio and battery.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to like all the apps, but I guess that's really all you have. Oh, here we go. Showing our radius.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's just a generic circle without taking into account the roads. The Mach-E does like what looks like an octopus because it's mapping out individual roads that you could drive on to reach your range limit. Eco driving, it says we've saved 3.3 pounds of CO2, so that's cool.
That is cool.
How long it would take to charge on a DC charger versus a 240 versus a 120. So we're at 73%, 2 hours to get up on a DC charger. I think it maxes out at 77 kilowatts. And let's see. Oh, and you can set your charging limits.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't necessarily as fancy of graphics, but it's not bad. Oh, that's really cool. Instant where my energy usage is going. Now, the Mach-E will show like some of these stats for climate and electronics, like where things are going, but I like the fact that it's showing instant. So like just sitting here, we're using 0.3 kilowatts, 0.39 kilowatts for having the dash and everything on. So
that's cool. It's like computer usage.
yeah. You know what? I think the thing is, and I don't know if this can be updated over the air or not, but I think it's really neat that all of this stuff is just software. So it can be updated on pretty much all of them somehow, some way, whether it's over the air or not. But things that are good in one EV can be added to the other EVs. So pretty cool overall. If you are interested, I would say give it a test drive. Like every EV we've been in, I would say go give them a test drive. So I think you'll be impressed with all of them, and some of you will like more than others.
It was really interesting rewatching that Kia footage, and it really made me reflect on the time that we've had the Mach-E and that we haven't. And I think something that really stands out to me is just that I think EVs are so cool. It's something I've been interested in for years. I never thought that this would be something we could have in our lives. It seemed like something too expensive, inaccessible, difficult, and challenging, and just out of my reach. And granted, the car that we have is like, wow, amazing. But I'm so excited about this technology. And I think that's something that we share, that this is so cool. There's so many cool EVs out there, and there's so many cool EVs coming out. And it's just exciting to be able to see them, be a part of this, be a part of this community. And I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I think we're on the cusp of some major changes. And this is beyond the fact that, some states and governments are working toward mandating EVs. I think we're just on the cusp of everybody sort of becoming aware that there's a ton of options, that it's easy to travel with the EV, all of the stuff that we want to test and show and demonstrate with this channel as well.
Speaking of which, as we've been paying more attention to the EV news, we've definitely seen a wave both of countries and of automotive makers making the switch to EV. For example, Jaguar, Bentley, General Motors, the entire Mini line, not BMW though, Volvo, Ford in Europe, VW, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi have all made EV commitments.
And recently, Ford just announced they were going to invest $22 billion into EVs in the next few years. And they also just announced that they are coming with their own internal battery research center where they're going to research not only current battery technology, but they're also going to look into future battery technology as well.
Numerous countries have proposed bans on gas vehicles or plans to implement electric vehicle or zero-emission vehicles. This includes China, Japan, the UK, South Korea, Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Slovenia, Germany, France, the Netherlands,
Spain, Portugal, Canada, Sri Lanka, Cabo Verde, and Costa Rica.
And so many more, as you can see. If we missed any, please feel free to leave them down below.
And there's a ton of info about EVs and the benefits that they have on the environment with climate change and on our health too. We will put a bunch of resources down in the description. So if you need any of these, just drop down there and take a look at that. One of the things that we've gotten a few times are EVs actually good for the environment? The batteries, they're bad for the environment. Their sources of energy are all coal. There's a lot of myths out there. And one of the best videos, we'll link to it above as well as down in the description, is from Engineering Explained. And you could send people there for a lot of those type of questions and myths.
Clearly, batteries are going to last far longer than a couple years because manufacturers are providing 8-year, 100,000-mile warranties with them. Now, the story isn't quite as clean once you start getting into the higher capacity batteries. So doing the same car comparison with a 100 kilowatt hour battery.
By the way, if you hear anything weird, it is raining right now and we have a skylight right above our filming area. But you know what? That's nature. That's a healthy environment, right? That's what we're going with. It's Earth Month and it's participating in this video. Okay. Another channel that you really might want to check out is Transport Evolved. They're super ethical and unbiased and just filled with knowledge and all about smarter, cleaner, greener, evolved transport. This particular video that we'll share is another great one for myth busting the whole, are EVs actually good? Are they better than gas vehicles?
Mother Nature is also
Mother Nature agrees.
Thunder and lightning. That's electric, right?
Yeah. Couldn't we charge like that? Wouldn't that be amazing?
There's a commercial.
Is it?
With the Tesla coil. So it's electricity.
Right. That counts. Yeah. Lightning strike, charge your car. Let's get on that.
Opinions on electric vehicles have changed a lot over the past few years, but there is still a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt floating around. One of the most prominent bits of misinformation is the claim that once carbon dioxide emissions from battery sourcing and construction are taken into account, electric vehicles are just as polluting as petrol and diesel ones. This is false, and we've known it to be false for some time.
Finally, no Earth Month video could be complete without mentioning Climate Town. This guy only has about 8 videos, but every single one of them is jam-packed with entertainment, information, just pure fun. They're a joy to watch. I super suggest you go there just if you want to learn about cool things, about the climate, and all that good stuff.
They're really good. I like them.
Don't take foolish chances. Don't jaywalk.
They even spent money popularizing the term jaywalking. See, back in the 1900s, a J meant like a doofus or a country idiot. So by officially labeling the term jaywalking, car companies cemented the idea that only idiots get hit by cars.
They aren't pedestrians at all. They're jaywalkers with a capital J.
All right, Mother Nature says it's time to go, so we're going to do just that. Thank you so much for joining us for this Earth Month video.
If you have any questions for us or want us to bust any myths in our own videos, let us know. And I think that's all we have. Hopefully we'll have the car back soon so we can get back to doing videos in the car. Thank you for sticking with us during this difficult time. That's quotation marks, because it's not really that difficult.
I know, it's a privileged, difficult time.
Yes, so we're good. But anyways, thank you again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, and if we got anything wrong or if you have any good information to share, please share your knowledge down below. We're learning about this as we go too.
And with that, we're going to say goodbye and stay charged as long as it's not from lightning.
Bye.
Bye.